Last night, Hollywood erupted when Outlander star Sam Heughan publicly admitted his true feelings for Caitriona Balfe for the first time in an exclusive interview with GQ magazine. After years of denying rumors, Sam finally spoke the truth, shocking millions of fans. In a luxurious hotel room in New York, Sam appeared calm but his eyes were filled with tension. He knew that the biggest question tonight would not be about his career or new film projects, but about his special relationship with his longtime co-star, Caitriona Balfe. And Sam was no longer willing to hide. "I've heard that rumor for years. I know people have always hoped we were a couple. And honestly," Sam paused, took a deep breath before continuing, "my feelings for Caitriona are real. I'm not going to deny it anymore." The confession was like a thunderclap in the quiet of the night. The reporter sitting across from him almost held his breath. Sam, who has always been notoriously private about his personal life, finally opened up. He smiled sadly as he recalled the years he spent together with Caitriona on the set of Outlander. "We've been through more than anyone could ever imagine. Filming intimate scenes for years, you can't pretend completely. A part of my heart belongs to her, that never changes, but just when fans thought it would be a sweet ending, Sam dropped a haunting but that feeling couldn't be complete love. The real reason, something Sam never revealed." Sam explained that both he and Caitriona have always been aware of the boundary between real life and screen. "We talked about it a lot. We both understood that our work connects millions of people, and if we let our emotions get out of hand, it would all come crashing down." He admitted that there were moments when he thought about telling Caitriona everything, but then stopped because he didn't want to pressure her. "When she got married and had kids, I had to respect that even more. I loved her in a way that I never wanted to hurt her." Sam recounted a memory that haunted him. On the day Caitriona announced their engagement, he was by her side, smiling and congratulating her. But inside he felt like 1,000 knives were stabbing him. "I remember drinking a big glass of whiskey that night and asking myself, why didn't I tell you sooner?" How did Caitriona react? Surprisingly, before this interview, Sam called Caitriona to let her know that he was going to tell the truth. Her reaction surprised everyone. She laughed and said, "Sam, I know. I always know." According to Sam, Caitriona was not angry or blaming. She simply affirmed that there was a deep friendship between them, something more precious than any romantic relationship. She said, "Our friendship is forever, Sam. Don't let anything ruin it." And I agreed. Why Sam chose this moment to admit. Sam frankly shared, "I don't want to live with regrets. When Outlander is about to end, I thought I should be honest with myself and with the audience. This love is an important part of my life, and I'm not ashamed of that." However, he also emphasized that there was no way he and Caitriona would end up together. "She has a family, she has a life that I deeply respect. We have chosen different paths, and that's for the best." How did fans react? Immediately after the interview was published, social media exploded with millions of shares. Fans everywhere were both moved and regretful. One comment on Twitter read, "Sam Heughan just broke our hearts and mended them in the same moment." There were also people who praised Sam's courage in speaking the truth. Many major newspapers called it the most sincere confession in recent Hollywood history. Sam ended with a meaningful message. Before leaving the interview, Sam left a quote that made everyone ponder. "Sometimes, love isn't about being together. Sometimes, it's about keeping the person you love happy, even if that happiness doesn't include you." For Sam Heughan, his feelings for Caitriona Balfe will forever be a beautiful secret, even if it never became a complete love story. But that's what makes millions of hearts admire him even more, a man who dares to love, dares to admit, and dares to let go. Before he admitted it all publicly, Sam Heughan had a long, agonizing night. He knew that once he said it, there would be no turning back. But there was one thing he had to do first: call Caitriona Balfe. "It was one of the hardest calls of my life," Sam began when sharing with reporters backstage. He still remembered the moment he stared at the phone screen, Caitriona's name appearing, his fingers shaking slightly before pressing the call button. The phone rang 3 times, and then a familiar voice rang out, warm but calm. "Sam? What are you calling me for at this hour?" He was silent for a few seconds, then spoke slowly. "There's something I have to tell you, before you hear it from the world." On the other end of the line, Caitriona chuckled, a smile Sam imagined he could see even in the darkness. "You've got me curious. What's so serious?" Sam took a deep breath. "I'll talk about you, about us, in the interview tomorrow." "I'll tell the truth." Caitriona was silent. It was so long that Sam felt his heart drop. Then she spoke, her voice as soft as the wind. "Sam, you don't have to do this. You know, it's going to cause trouble." "I know," Sam said, his voice firm. "But I don't want to live in silence forever. I don't want to pretend like it's all business. I love you, Kate." It was the first time he'd said it directly, even over the phone. There was a deep sigh on the other end. Caitriona didn't sound surprised, or angry, just deeply sad. "Sam, I always knew," she said, her voice so soft it hurt. "You think I don't notice? The looks, the gestures. I can feel them all the time." Sam closed her eyes, feeling tears welling up. "Then why didn't you say anything?" "Because we can't, Sam. I know that. We have a beautiful friendship, a special connection that no one can break, but turning it into love will only bring it all down." He was silent. In that moment he wanted to argue, wanted to say that he would give it all up. But then Caitriona's voice continued, gentle but firm. "You're an important part of my life, but I have a family, a life that I can't lose. And I know you don't want to hurt me." The words were like a knife, but Sam understood, she was right. He loved her too much to destroy her happiness. Tears after the call. When the conversation ended, Sam sat silently in the dark room for hours, staring at the phone. He didn't know how long he cried, but the tears kept falling. He had just said something he had kept hidden for nearly a decade, and in return, he was told a harsh truth: that love could never come true. But what surprised him were Caitriona's final words before hanging up. "Sam, maybe in another life, we'll be different. But in this life, let's just be friends. That's the best thing we can keep." Those words kept ringing in his head, even as the interview began the next morning. The real reason Sam dared to say it all. In a behind-the-scenes interview with GQ, Sam revealed that the call made him even more determined. "I understand that there will never be love between us in the traditional sense. But I want the audience to know the truth, that we never pretended. What people see on screen, most of it comes from my true feelings." He also affirmed that this was not a media stunt. "I don't need that kind of PR. I said it because I didn't want to leave Outlander with such a big secret in my heart. I didn't want to look back one day and regret not keeping quiet." Sam also admitted that even after the interview, he still read all the reactions from fans. "I didn't expect them to be so emotional. I got thousands of messages, some saying they cried, some saying they admired my sincerity. That made me feel relieved." Caitriona responds after all. A day after the interview went viral, Caitriona finally spoke up on Instagram. She posted a photo of the Scottish fields, where they filmed the first scenes for Outlander, with the caption, "The good memories will always remain, even when things change. I am proud of the wonderful friends I have made over the years." Just a short sentence, but enough to make the entire fan community cry. There was no anger, no distance, just sincere affection, but kept within the bounds of respect. What is the future for Sam and Caitriona? When asked about their future relationship, Sam just smiled. "We will always be friends. That will never change. I accept that there is love that only exists in the heart, and I am okay with that." Perhaps this is the final chapter of a beautiful but incomplete story. Sam Heughan had the courage to speak the truth, and Caitriona Balfe responded with human kindness. In the glamorous and fake world of Hollywood, such a pure feeling is enough to make millions believe that there are beautiful things that do not need to belong together, but can still last forever.